Okay, guys. Hello, it's 4 o'clock. We're almost ready. Just getting some of the engineering ready again this time. Hopefully, this time will be okay. There we go. As you can hear, I'm even jerry rigging some music here while I get ready for this. Gotta have a little music. Oh, there we go. That's the end of that song. We might as well let that go. Check out the jerry rigging. Okay, that's properly jerry rigged off. Okay, I see myself. So today is an interesting day. Hello. Welcome to Sunlight on Chaos, everyone. Yes, it's Friday. It's Halloween. This is a perfect day or evening to get into this podcast for today. Some of you may know I've had a couple of extremely unprecedented and weird technical blowouts this week. Perfect. So now we are here at Halloween. So let's see if it'll be a trick or a treat. There's the first trick. Pardon me. That is the first trick. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into it. Some of you might have heard a couple of things from Wednesday. I still have that episode in recorded mode on YouTube. You can always go back. That was the first one, and then the next one blew out. So here we are on Friday. Let's get right into it. And I'm going to mention something right after this clip, but let's just play some ridiculous stuff for today. Okay, let's go to the old Pipcam. Hey, look, it's up. Unbelievable.
Breaking overnight, with millions of Americans a day away from losing the critical lifeline of SNAP food benefits amid the government shutdown, President Trump is now calling on Republicans to go nuclear. The president posting online, "It is now time for the Republicans to play their Trump card and go for what is called the nuclear option. Get rid of the filibuster and get rid of it now." The filibuster requires 60 votes to pass funding to reopen the government. Getting rid of it would mean Republicans could pass the bill with a simple majority vote. But it's empty on Capitol Hill this morning, and senators have left town for the weekend ahead of the critical day. Tomorrow marks the first day of open enrollment as well for Obamacare, where health premiums have skyrocketed, a major sticking point for Democrats. And also tomorrow, 42 million Americans who rely on food stamps will see a lapse in benefits, forcing many to go hungry or skip paying certain bills so that they can buy food for themselves and their families. CNN's Kevin.
All right, let's go to back to our watch later grouping and back to yours truly. So I think we all know the answer to that question. The filibuster. Will they filibuster the filibuster? Okay, I think you guys know the answer to that. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Is it like he can just come up with stupid stuff every minute? Is it down to the minute? Almost. Is it 60 stupid things in a day? Like, how much airtime can he just blow through with stupid crap? So sorry, I'm going to be a little glaring and blatant on Friday. It is Halloween, so F the guy. So now, before we get really going, I wanted to think of some points as I go through some points today. I'm going to want to bring them up with MAGA people to go out in the field in the future. Okay, and I want to film the MAGA people with their jaws dropping with questions that they can't answer. Okay, this is very, very specific. So this takes preparation, money, etc. So need to keep rolling here. So always please go back to GoFundMe, or Sunlight on Chaos. You can plug in. I'll also remind you during the show, just to share with your friends, especially those that have that disposable income that want to feel like they can make a difference with this maniac. All right, let's just get right into obviously what's going to come up by Tuesday. And before that, one quick shout out to Marcy. You know who you are. Marcy is so great. She's been helping me with ideas and thoughts about everything. She's so good. She knows like all of these podcasters. and she bounces around all over the place and picks up everything. I'm trying to scoop up with a Hoover all the news, and she's scooping up a lot of podcasters. So thank you, dear. 40 years of a friendship. Is that great or what? So there you go. All right. So let's get right into what's going to happen for Tuesday. Looks like things are getting better finally for, yes, out here in California. Come on, you California people. Yes, on Prop 50. Okay, I think we know what that is out here. I think everybody else does too. Texas started their malevolent, nasty little redistricting tricks. And basically, we had to, out in California, Governor Newsom had to combat the stone throwing and rejiggering and all this redistricting crap that they started doing. So we have to get these other 4 seats in order for the midterms, and that's Prop 50 is the way to do it. So hopefully this is getting a lot better than worse for Tuesday. Obviously, people, you guys out in New Jersey, Mikey Sherrill. Let's go for Mikey Sherrill. Good luck to her. I'll probably talk about this on Monday, and obviously on Tuesday night or Monday or Wednesday after those votes officially tally in. Virginia, Abigail Spanberger. Yes, Abigail Spanberger. Go get Virginia. She's doing well. So let's fingers crossed. We got obviously Mayor, New York City, Mamdani Cuomo. Yeah, well, it's funny. I bumped into Cuomo 30 years ago, and he sort of took a liking to my girlfriend at the time. I'm not making this up. I was at a gala in New York. I grew up in New York. I'm from New York, and met him 30 years ago. Never met him since. I'm gonna leave it there, and good luck. Good luck. So let's move on. And well, let's say Mamdani. Let me back up. Will infuriate Trump, so that's a good thing. And he does care about the people. So let's move on. Let's talk about things that, like, wait, what? Where did they go this week? Where did they go? Let's go to my clip number 2 here. Think about this for a minute. What has happened here? Sometimes there will be
full
these
business functionality.
there
and
will
a
be these
design
3-second commercials.
Some other news this morning. 2 top Republicans on Capitol Hill are criticizing the Pentagon's plan to cut the number of American troops deployed to Eastern Europe. Senator Roger Wicker and Congressman Mike Rogers, who chair their respective armed services committees, say the move jeopardizes the U.S. relationship with key allies on NATO's eastern flank. Around 700 troops with the 101st Airborne Division will be rotated out of Germany, Romania, and Poland as the Trump administration shifts its focus toward Latin America and Asia. The Republican chairman, right in part, this decision also sends the wrong signal to Russia at the very moment President Trump is applying pressure to force Vladimir Putin to come to the table to achieve a lasting peace in Ukraine.
Okay. What? I mean, it's like this. Can he just not get one thing in place at all? Yeah. Okay, this is leading to Ukraine, of course, and then he has to go move ships around and go start effing with Venezuela. While were we dealing with Ukraine? Everybody, I thought we were. Okay, so this ass is moving stuff around, making it much tougher for the Europeans to do what they need to do. So, you tell me, does anybody really know what kind of, I think it's real estate that he's got with him. It's, because he's always all about the money, right? So, sorry, just still getting used to everything over here, guys. I think it's all about the money with him, isn't it? So, bad decisions. Bad decisions all the time. So I feel so bad for Ukraine and what Zelensky's had to go through. Hopefully this can come to an end sooner than later. If Trump will send some tomahawks down that way, you idiot. I'm just going to have to move on. And oh, here, I might as well throw in little clips that, along the way to just break up my nausea. Kristi Noem, I think, said today, still going into Chicago tonight on Halloween, during Halloween, with ICE and with all the little kids there. So, let's see if hopefully they won't separate any children from their parents while they're trick-or-treating. All right. And definitely no clips needed on that crap. So, speaking again of Ukraine, there's an update. I'm going to try to punch this up in a different way here. Let me go to Mr. Pipcam here. Go over here and see if this pulls it. Okay.
Ukrainian forces are struggling to fend off intensifying Russian advances on the eastern city of Pokrovsk. Moscow's troops continuing to close in on the key logistics hub after more than a year of grinding advances, which Kyiv says has come at a staggering human cost to Russia. Ukraine saying some 11,000 troops are now trying to encircle the city. And
okay, so many troops encircling constantly. So they're still fighting. So we know, obviously, Putin has just, tripped up Trump at every single step. Just a national embarrassment. And this is why, all of the countries, I hope, are, they're placating him, giving him a gold crown in South Korea yesterday, like the worst possible things. But it's all money, right? So everybody wants money. So placate the maniac. Cryptocurrencies going around. We know about that, so it's just sort of a horrific scene all over the world. But I know that certain representatives are speaking with our European counterparts, and they are saying, listen, we're with you guys. We know Trump is a maniac. I gotta say maniac. I'm trying to keep it upbeat. I don't know if kids are watching. I'm going to have to make that decision because it's so easy to curse on a podcast, right? You just go off with gutter mouth, but I'll try not to go too off the effing deep end today. Speaking of money, what about this? What about this falling to the wayside? Just things that just are sticking out there like a sore thumb and falling to the wayside. And this is for you New Yorkers, by the way. This is about the tunnel that they want to build. They've got money allocated from New Jersey to New York. We all know, anybody knows from 10, 20 years ago, it's just always a nightmare, to get back and forth. And that, Manhattan's not the only slice of the pie here. It goes way out New Jersey to so many other places that want to come into New York and back and forth. And we need it. Let me play this disgusting clip of Trump's, he used to be a Democrat. You guys know that, right? A lot of you know that. But he's just displaying this open hatred for Democrats. Like, he just says it outright. So here we go.
Hey, stop wearing
this is
your
one of these
wife's
things you can give it
fanny pack.
1 second.
You need the
One
new
second.
340.
After pausing funding for the Hudson River Tunnel project earlier this month, President Donald Trump announced the project is now terminated.
Now that news coming as a shock to officials in both New York and New Jersey. Let's get right to Good Day's Briella Tomasetti. She's live at Penn Station this morning with those details. And Briella, construction has already started.
Started back in 2023, major construction at least, simultaneously while other service is still running, Tashani and Dan. But we do know this, that federal funding for the Hudson River Tunnel project, well, it was suspended a little over 2 weeks ago at the start of the government shutdown. It's more commonly known as the Gateway Project. But the $16 billion endeavor, it relies primarily on federal grants, and it would help commuters who are traveling from New Jersey to New York via Amtrak and commuter rail. A lot of them enter right through these doors behind me into Penn Station. Now, it's unclear if this is a done deal just
Watch
yet,
this.
but here's what President Trump
Watch
had
this
to say
nonsense.
about it all yesterday.
Hatred.
Russell vote is really terminating tremendous numbers of Democrat projects. There's not only jobs. I mean, the project in Manhattan, the project in New York, it's billions and billions of dollars that Schumer has worked 20 years to get. It's terminated.
Terminated. Well, one ballroom goes up, and a tunnel is a tunnel to nowhere. Right now, at least. What an ass. Maybe that's the thing I'll say today. Kids can handle that, right? What an ass. Because you know I can supercharge it. You know I want to supercharge it, right? So, okay. In any event, any expletives are too easy to use with this ass. Now, let's go to something that I think you're going to find really interesting today. Okay, and here's the deal. I brought this up on Wednesday on the first episode, but I'm going to bring it up today and go further and have some fun. It is about pressuring Republicans anywhere and everywhere and at any given moment of the day or night. This is from now right till not Tuesday, November 4th, a year from now, November 4th. Guys, we have to just keep the pressure on in every different type of angle, okay? What is an angle, for example, that we can do? Here we go. We're going to talk right now about the most obvious thing right now, which is about healthcare subsidies and SNAP. Now, here's the thing that I sort of touched on. It was about calling. I made a list. I printed this out. You don't have to print this out, but I made a list, 37 pages, of all of the Republican congressmen and women. And there's also one for the Senate. But the Senate, you dial into an operator board, and then it punches 5 digits in. Here, as you can see, their actual phone numbers are here. The actual phone number, you can actually call and just dial the number. Dial the 7 digits or 10 digits. And they're right there. So let's try to call one. I'm going to call one online. And let me just say that I wrote a script while I was doing my laundry. And you can write one too. You just write anything down in any which way you prefer. This is my little script over here. And now you can also, I don't know if you could see this, I'll read it, but there are 11 states, starting with California, that you have to have two-party consent record law states they are. And I'll just whip them off real quick. That means in California, I have to let the other party know that I'm going to call them. Okay, so for you guys that are not on this list, like New York, you just have to be the one recording it and being on the recording, just on your one side. They don't have to know you're recording it, so you don't have to tell them. But you guys from California, I'll just read them off. California, Delaware, Florida, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Montana, Nevada, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, and Washington. You guys have to let people know that you're recording them. There is a public official exception in their official duties. Maybe it's less of a reasonable expectation of privacy. Still, if you want to be careful, maybe just best to inform their assistant, their staff. I mean, if you can get through to the actual representative, awesome. But let's say you get through a staff member, say, I'd like to record this. In this case, if I get through to somebody, I'll say I'm on live air and see if they even consent. I might end up scaring them. Wouldn't that be so funny? Well, we'll see. Let's see if we could scare some Republicans, okay? Now, let's see, Arizona. I'll get back to California. There's a Republican in the 1st district because it's still only 4 o'clock out here. Now, let me call. Arizona is the mountain district. Let's see if anybody's still in at 5. I'm going to call Representative Paul Gosar, okay? Paul Gosar, let me hit his number here. And it is 202. They all start with 202. 225 4076. 4076. And I'm going to put the little sucker on speakerphone. Let's see what we get. You're going to get. Here we go. I'll read my script. So you're going to get answering machines. There we go. I'm not going to give my last name or my zip. Dear Congressman, my name is Stephen. Well, you've gotten away with your tax breaks for your cronies. Can you tell me now when you're going to agree to extend the health care subsidies and pay for SNAP? And it's not, oh yeah, we open the government back up and then just blow off the subsidies and SNAP like a bad joke. No, it's make the deal. Commit to it tomorrow morning first. Then just open the government back up in the afternoon. Simple. There are no games with this anymore then. Thank you. Okay, take that, sucker. And that's an answer machine. Now, I'm going to just hit Arkansas. I'll probably get an answering machine too, but so we already got the idea. You will during the day, and you have to remember everybody's time codes, right? I grew up in New York. Now I'm 3 hours over here in LA. I have to always remember that for my New York friends. Just remember your time zones so you can, try to get them live and at least get the assistant live, because we could even play gang up. We can go after one congressman, and if the assistant's in, we could have 5 or 10 of us go after and keep calling the assistant like all day and wearing them down. So the assistant will then go to the representative, like something like, oh my God, I just got 10 or 20 calls in, and I don't know, they're from all over. Or one of them, they seem to be like blue states. I don't know, but they're not saying what zip code they're in from, calling it from. They don't say their last name. So we could play that game. We can play. So I'll jump over Arkansas. There's all 4 districts are Republican. Look at this, Arkansas. Don't you love Arkansas? All 4 are Republican. Let's go, though. Let's go to California, big blue state. And let's go to Congressman Doug LaMalfa. Okay, let me put this down, and I'll pick up my script again. This is obviously easier for you guys to do at home. So you won't be shuffling all this stuff. You can make your list. Who did you call? When did you call? And then check it off. Who did you call? When did you call? Check them off. Just keep going through them. I'm going to hope to go through almost all, over 200 of these Repubs all year, and I'll just go again, or hone in on which state has the worst problem with the worst representative about what issue. Do you know what I mean? So we can target for the day, for the week, for the month, pretty much like what's going on now. But all of these, so many of these guys with the health subsidies they're all frozen, spineless. We all know that now. Let me hit California, because somebody's got to pick up. You think it's only 423, right? So let me dial 202 again. Like I said, most of them are 225 also. Yeah, because it's a switchboard. 225, excuse me, 3076. 3076. This is Congressman, 1st District of California, Doug LaMalfa, Agriculture Committee Assignment, Natural Resources, Transportation, Infrastructure. Okay, that might be of some help or not, but he'll know why we're calling real well in 2 minutes. 3076. 3076. Okay, let's see what we get now.
Thank you for calling the office of Congressman Doug LaMalfa of California's 1st District. Please feel free to leave your name, number, and a message, and we'll return your call as soon as possible. Have a great day.
You never know. Yes, Congressman LaMalfa. This is Stephen Olivieri. Well, you've gotten away with your tax breaks for your cronies. So can you tell me now when you are going to agree to extend the healthcare subsidies? Let's not forget SNAP and WIC. It's not, we're going to open the government back up and then just blow off the subsidies and SNAP like a bad joke. No, it's make the deal. Commit to it. How about tomorrow morning? Okay, then just open the government back up in the afternoon. Simple. Then there are no games with this anymore. Thank you. Now, those were both real messages that I left for those guys. That means it flies either into the assistance operations or over her head. Might get right to the congressman. Will we know? Tough question. I can do background research with some people. More time and money. More time and money. Anyway, that's take an incredible amount of oomph to get this thing going, because it's not just me sitting around talking about, curtains and painting this room red and all that good stuff, which I used to do. I'm a skilled tradesman, yes, and classically trained on clarinet, and a filmmaker. I did that. That was my first film. Anyway, let's keep moving here. You have to forgive me. Okay. So, guys, it's easy. You just go online.gov. So it's US House of Representatives.gov, and it's US Senators.gov. You get the drift. You can go on and then capture all the names and numbers your own way, your own inimitable way, and start checking these suckers off, because this is truly a way we can all apply pressure from the comfort of your own home, or during the day, or on your lunch break, any time. Okay, because you don't need to call your blue state, or your blue people, because I know I'm probably talking to mostly blues, but the Reds, the Repubs, are the ones being complete wildcats now and spineless assholes. Sorry, kids. And that's where we have to go. So go after all of them. There's just over 200 representatives. 50 senators. Just go, and you'll just get really good. You get a machine, you get an assistant. Maybe you'll get pitched over if you get really good at how you call. It's going to be up to you. I'll keep doing it too. I'll give you an update if I get some good juicy ones. You know what I mean? Like, I actually get to the assistant. God forbid I get through to a Republican representative or a Republican senator. Whoo, that's going to be good. Man, is it going to be good. So let's move on, and let's do a stupid point. Just out of the blue here. Bear with. Let's see. And okay, hold on. Yeah. Okay. There's always something, right? And so how about this? Sorry, I'm looking at multiple screens here. Just going all the way back to, I went to the protests. I went to 2 protests on the 18th, recently. And during or after the protests, Trump is staring at the TV, and he's just off the top of his head, whatever's left of it. And he says, when you look at those people, the protesters, right? All the film, all the clips of the protesters. When you look at those people are not, check this wording, those people are not representative of the people of our country. What? Those people are not representative of the people of our country? Those people, I was with those people on the 18th, right here in LA. Then I went down the street and I ran into another protest and was with those people. Those people are the people that don't just represent this country. We are the people of this country. You moron. And might as well just go to I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll try to come back to this Putin one, and then something on the bombed cargo boats. I'll come back to this. Just 2 incredibly stupid things they're doing. Let's check out. Sorry if I get so close to the mic. I'll try to mellow out. I'm just peeking around and getting used to this new work studio. Let's go to something deadly serious. Now, where did this conversation go, Mr. Wannabe peace, accord crap? You want a Nobel Peace Prize? I'll give you a prize. It has it's a pie with a lot of cream on it. Okay, I'll give you a prize. You won't soon forget. Okay, listen to this update, and hopefully there won't be. Well, let me track it this way. Bear with me. No, I'll just check it this way. Okay, bear with.
So I use a no bullshit.
So
pan.
yeah,
am
I don't
Chef
either.
Sam
So
Powell. I've
we're
been
gonna shut
cooking
you
for
off.
37 years. What the hell is a titanium pan?
I'm gonna work this out next time. So check it
Gaza,
out.
in the last 24 hours, we're coming to you live. And what happened is the Rafah incident. Hamas fired RPG and sniper fire at IDF forces east of the Yellow Line. That means it's an Israeli-controlled area. And the IDF returned fire with tanks, with artillery, and later on with Israeli Air Force fighter jets that struck threats all across the Gaza Strip. And I'm talking about buildings, tunnel shafts, and other weapons production and storage facilities.
Okay, does that ring a bell, guys? Gaza, and you know, I guess say a couple of things about Gaza. Was a beautiful place, relatively speaking, right on the water. Still is on the water, and you know, 3,000 years later, here we go. So Trump bumbling and I'm dealing with 7 wars, or I've settled them. No, you haven't. You don't know what you're settling. You roll into, you know, Sudan, Somalia. You know, pick a country. Pick your Pakistan, India. You roll in. You open your big mouth. They sort of smile at you. Okay, and here's Gaza and Israel. Okay, everything's a mess. It's a mess. You pulled out. Now you're running around over in Pacific. You're pulling out away from Russia, and the Ukraine factor it's just unforgivable. This walking away here, okay, your guys can't stay there forever, right? So, you know, basically, they're not there. They're in the Pacific, you know, JD and, you know, the other ones. Oh, too bad Rubio doesn't have more balls. It would be so nice if Rubio could just get up in on all of this and, you know, bring a little more sense to these 2 twins of terror. Yeah, 2 twins of terror. Trump and Vance. That's what they are. That's what you get. So, sorry, the Israel and Gaza thing is still a total mess. And, you know, the remains, okay, DNA remains. You know, this is going to drag on and on and on. So, Trump, you're not out of any woods on Israel and Gaza, okay? Don't even think you are. So, okay. Take a breath there. Now, here's another form of BS, and we will take a look at this. And it's about Trump's health, okay? I think we know about his, you know, whatever, swollen ankles and his bruises on his wrist and everything. You know, he's not in perfect health. He's going to be 80, and he's subject to God knows what at any given moment. I think you know what I'm talking about. But let's listen to him bullshit about himself, because anything about any doctors, remember the quack he had the last time? So then a new quack, and I haven't researched because I only have so many hours in each day, which is who's the new quack that said, well, he'll say it, gave him a good, you know, little sign off on his health. So let's see what that is all about.
Showing off his vitality, dancing
nice
with
moves.
locals as he landed in faraway Malaysia. But there are new questions about his health today after he revealed that he had an MRI at his hospital checkup earlier this month.
I got an MRI. It was perfect. Yep. I mean, I gave you the full results. The doctor said some of the best reports for the age, some of the best.
Some of the best reports. He sort of slipped. He'll slip once in a while. So he said, you know, some of the best reports for the age. Look, and he keeps talking about the cognitive tests. You know, and there's so many clips of him. It's embarrassing. There's so many clips of him even talking about, you know, TV, dog, camel, this, that, and elephant, everything in reverse and whatever. You know, who knows what he took? Maybe he took the first part of it where you try to remember some animals in a row. Well, you know, isn't that, that's probably what he got through. And he's in his own mind, he's like, I remembered those animals. Well, you know what? yeah, you're just losing it, and his health. Look, I feel bad about Biden, and I know me and my friend who's watching right now, we both, when Biden had his frozen bad moment, last year, I was like, oh no, here we go. Well, Trump he's freaking out all over the place and stalling and stumbling and saying things. And do you guys notice? Tell me if I'm not the only one. I can't be. Is that he does things where he'll say things and repeat things and repeat. I have been told I repeat things. That's just mostly because I'm a relentless, especially when I'm in a debate. I have to remind somebody about the point we're trying to ultimately get to in a debate. But he just spins things around in a circle. Think about that for a second. He'll be like, oh, yeah, no, Gaza's going to be great. Oh, everything's going to be great. You know what I mean? So, Israel and then Gaza's going to be great. And then, we're going to deal with Hamas and Gaza's going to be great. And he'll do things and just keep saying things in a circle. So he's already got this early form dementia for sure. He's already got it. And you could just watch it. We listen to him in all the late night talk shows. They don't know which clip to pull from. They're like, how do we pull a clip? What's the best, most crazy clip to pull for today? Yeah, there's such a plethora of clips to pull. Take one, let him repeat himself 20,000 times. So, it's just awful, awful, awful. We have to really bear down, you guys, in California here, Prop 50 on Tuesday. I sent mine in as soon as I got it in the mail. Love this mail-in ballots, right? Don't let anybody scare you at the polls. I mean, for the states that do have the mail-in ballots, if you don't, figure it out, and figure out how to get to your polls and your poll drops and have people help you. If you're nervous, don't let them. They're going to start occupying New Jersey and Virginia. Watch out. But they're just mostly going to stand there and try to collect information and try to figure out tricks for 26. Keep that in your head. There's a good slogan, tricks for 26. If that's sort of a rhyme. And I'm not going to rap about it. And so, it's just creepy time. It's just all strong arm tactics, and don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. It's just you be strong, everybody. Polls are polls right now. They are still viable polls. And if things get really bad, we'll talk about it then. But let's hope the midterms we will crush on the midterms and crush his ability. And he's already a lame duck, right? I know they're talking about this garbage about a third term, which is absolute garbage. And there's amendments and filibusters. None of that's going to, and it could take years and years to get an amendment an amendment drawn up for that. So that's total insanity. Steve Bannon. Okay. Can I go like this on air, right? FCC can't regulate me, by the way. You know that. So they can't get me about anything yet. But I'm headed to CNN. I'm headed to MSNBC. Love Rachel and Lawrence O'Donnell. You should check them out. Those guys are just great. Everybody on that. I really do try to watch Fox. I can get about 5-10 minutes in. You got the Jesse Waters. What is that like? Waters. I call him Waterworks. Jesse Waterworks. Boo hoo. I used to have a tiny crush on Maria Bartiromo way back before she got into the money and the corruption, like everybody else over there. And then, of course, you have the ultimate insanity with Hannity, right? The insanity with Hannity. So these are little catchphrases that, make me smile to myself so I don't become nauseous while I'm watching Fox and, vomit. Okay, so let's go to something that is getting creepy and creepier and creepier. It is Halloween, guys, so let's go to some vampire material. I'm going to take you back to an old clip here of, I think it's Stephen Miller is in high school. Okay, so think about this for a minute. He is already like half-cocked in high school. That's high school. Think about now. All right, so I somehow found this. And this is just something. Oh, is it really a minute and 22? See if you can sit through a minute and 22 of this. It's really creepy. Might get another commercial. Sorry. I'm going to work with my tech on this and get rid of these. Bye.
Hi,
Here we go.
I'm Stephen Miller. Some of you may or may not know who I am.
Stephen Miller is a 31-year-old policy aide to Donald Trump.
Let's get the White House response now from senior policy advisor Stephen Miller. You might remember seeing him on the campaign trail as a warm-up act for Trump. Now the young aide is right at the heart of White House policymaking, greeted this morning by dueling profiles in the New York Times and the Washington Post.
After our story appeared, we were contacted by a high school classmate of Stephen Miller who sent us a copy of a video that had been made about him by his classmates. The video was kind of like a documentary about Miller and the role he had played as an outspoken conservative at his high school.
Hi, I'm Stephen Miller. Some of you may or may not know who I am. We don't have time to get into that right now.
He was running for student government, so this was his speech.
I'm the only candidate up here who really stands out.
It's important to note that we don't have the whole speech. We called Santa Monica, the school district, and asked if they still had a copy of it. They said they've been looking for it, but they can't find it. So all we've got are these couple of short clips that have been included in this video that his classmates had made about.
You have to think for a second. What else? Why can't they find clips from high school? They just find a piece of the clip? Okay, we're almost there.
Him.
I will say and I will do things that no one else in their right mind would say or do.
You can sort of...
Really? No one... Think about that for a second, okay? Think about that. This is him as a kid doing what no one else in their right mind would think or say or do or whatever. Really? So that means if they're in their right mind, they wouldn't do it, but then you would do it. So maybe that just obviously means you're out of your mind. And, you know, he is. And listen, he's the dark force. Okay. You want like little wording and tags. He's the dark force. Susie Wiles, she's a nervous wreck. She doesn't know barely what's going on. She tries to organize things. She's good. She's like, she should be the secretary of secretaries. Okay. Because she's not, you don't see her much, do you? Behind the scenes, I bet there's a reason for that. And, you know, let the kooks out, you know, like Vance and Miller. And so he's the one to watch, everybody. Okay? Because at this point, between him and a few other people and the writers, they're writers, the barrel of monkeys they got writing this crap over there at the White House, he's running the show. Okay? He's running the show. So, I'm going to play one more clip of him and then talk about it. Yeah, so a deputy chief of staff. No, he's like the chief. He's the chief. So I am going to just go the right way to this clip and see if that's the way to avoid these effing commercials. So let me pull it up. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom to Mr. Dracula and take you over there and just give you a little notion of where the hell he wants to go. I think this was even at Kirk's memorial that he just doesn't care. He doesn't really care. All right, here we go.
When I see Erica and her strength and her courage, I am reminded of a famous expression. The storm whispers to the warrior that you cannot withstand my strength. And the warrior whispers back, I am the storm.
Okay. This guy is full on ready to go nuts, okay? While Susie Wiles is waiting around for a while for things to happen, Miller is the killer brain here, okay? He is the killer brain. And may God help us all this coming year, that we can help all together stamp down this insanity. It's insanity. And maybe that will be a treat. Will that be a treat if we can stamp everything down and get all the way to November 6th of 26, and because we got to get there and we have to win, and they're going to try to rig like crazy on the way. Remember this, everybody. They're going to try to rig all the way from now already. It's already there. They're already doing it. They're trying to rig New Jersey and Virginia right now, and they're trying to throw poll watchers. Don't worry about those poll watchers. And I forget if New Jersey and Virginia are vote by mail, but you get it in the mail, just like we did in California here for Prop 50. You fill it out, either black ink, or blue. You fill in your circles. You just put it in the mailbox. Nobody knows what's going on. It's easy. If you have to make extra means and ways to get there and get your vote and do what you have to do, then that's your job. Maybe you don't call representatives, on that day, or senators, Republicans. Maybe you just focus all your energy on getting New Jersey, you guys, to the polls, and Virginia, get to the polls. Of course, New York City, I think, you guys are going to stroll down the street and do your thing. And, all of these things are incumbent upon all of us. And, I have to keep moving on my front too. And I'm scraping at rent. This is my first week doing this. I do have my site, and I know the older school people are like, they're like, what the hell is this thing? And I know that, let me go this way. You younger kids are like, oh yeah, whatever. But for the older school crowd, you boomers, you take your smart camera, just open up your camera, go to photo, and you're going to take a photo and zoom in on this. I don't want to get too close and blur it. And it will all of a sudden quickly take you to Sunlight on Chaos at GoFundMe. So I'm not going to sit here and ask you guys for a donation. You're already donating your time and effort. I will ask you but I would ask you then with that to be to share GoFundMe. Just share it with everybody. And, let's try to keep the show going, We want to keep the show going. See, it takes time. I paid my IT guy money to get this logo started. You'll see it. It'll start popping up in the corner. It'll be here all the time. I was going to tape it to the mic. I thought it was a little cheesy, but why not? As we're about to wrap up here. Isn't that cute? So, sunlight on chaos. Sunlight on chaos. There is light. The sun still exists, everyone. The sun still exists, and it provides light. But they say sunlight is one of the best disinfectants, Get in, shine a light broadly, glaringly, boldly on the garbage, on the chaos. So, please do what you can on your ends. Go call some, have fun, make it a little sport, make a game out of it, write a little script for yourself, and you can read it because you're going to be on the phone. You're not going to be live like me having a fits and futs with everything. You can just read your thing, get on the phone, you get the assistant, an answering machine, or the actual representative, or the senator. Oh, the senator, wouldn't that be exciting? And you run that. And then, of course, Tuesday, you're going to go to the polls. Then during the year, there'll be some more votes, but all the way to next November, we all have to step up, and we can do it. We'll go to more protests, do more protests. Yes, some of you guys are so into it. I had quite an interest. It's on the GoFundMe, the title page of my poster that I made and ran out. And I actually played saxophone, and I actually was holding my poster in one hand and playing my saxophone. You're supposed to play sax with two hands, right? Yes, normally. But I was holding it, the poster in one hand and playing the saxophone, just a few notes with my other hand, just to make a lot of noise and get it going. People were like, yeah, it was a lot of fun. So that's that whole element. Absolutely, protests all year long. And, let's keep it going with the group that supports that, and you know who they are, Indivisible. And when they start percolating, just watch the dates and watch what they're going to do, and just they're accurate. It's a good group. They're highly organized. So you want to stay with that. You want to call Republicans and senators. I could go on like so many other stations. I watch all the other stations now, and and there's obviously Reuters and AP, and there's a lot of different stations out there that report little tidbits, and nuggets. And I watch them, and you see that, let's see, this guy. Yeah, you see that camera stand right there? That is what I'll have a camera on, focused at that monitor, the TV monitor back there, during the days, if you will. Because if I see something, a lot of these clips had to go up. Some of them had to go up this morning, and then the show had to end for the clip to then be available for me to go get the clip. I can't pull the clip. But what I can do with that, there comes dyslexia right there, right? Is I can grab clips as I'm walking around my house. I'll be like, whoa, and I could go run over and press play and grab something live and then save it and play it for you guys later in the day. And I will definitely do that. So, I came up with the title Sunlight on Chaos because in all of the chaos, we have to remember that the sun also rises, right? The sun also rises. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new day. I was devastated yesterday when I had technical problems again. I am going to hope that this has carried for almost an hour now, and I'm going to hope that it goes to at least 2 records so people can just check it out. And for you guys that are watching it live right now, I thank you very much. I really do. And we just need to expand. There are people like Tom Steyer who got behind Prop 50. He's a billionaire. So I want to get into media campaigns coming up in the next year. I want to work with all these groups. We need to infuse money, get the campaigns set up, and just drip, drip, drip on his head. Drip, drip, and make them all crazy in the House and Senate when exactly necessary, and all year long as it goes. So again, thank you very much, and happy Halloween. I hope you're all doing well tonight and there are no tricks, and let's hope we can have some treats along the way. Thank you, everyone. Take care.